Today we'll be putting the king of fintech, in my opinion, which is SoFi and their SoFi Relay platform, head to head with by far the most popular budgeting platform for literally the past decade, and that would be Mint, who has over 20 million users, to help you decide which of these budgeting platforms is the best option in 2022. All right, let's jump right into it. What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So, it's no secret that I am a huge fan of the SoFi platform as a whole, and I've made a number of videos on SoFi Relay. And a while back, I also made a full review video on the incredibly popular Mint budgeting platform. And this is actually a tool that I used myself for a number of years. So in today's video, I want to break down what each of these platforms has to offer and hopefully help you decide which is the best financial tool for you, because there are some pretty major differences. So let's start off with by far the most popular budgeting platform, and that would be Mint. Mint was launched in 2007, and just 2 short years later, Intuit actually purchased the platform for $170 million. Now, at that time in 2009, when it was purchased by Intuit, they only had 1 million users, but Intuit has now grown the platform to over 20 million users, making this the most popular budgeting platform by a landslide. That's great, but what's all the hype about? Well, for starters, they offer some pretty advanced budgeting tools, all for completely free. And when I say free, I mean that every feature of this platform costs nothing, and there isn't any kind of premium version that you have to upgrade and pay for. I mean that everything across this platform is free, which I think is fantastic. So obviously, they're going to let you connect all of your different financial accounts, including third-party checking and savings accounts, retirement and investment accounts, credit cards, any loans that you might have, and you can even manually add different assets and liabilities as well. And what that means is all of your financial platforms are going to be synced under one app, and you all know that I am a huge fan of that, especially as someone who has countless different financial accounts that can all be a huge headache to keep track of on their own. All of this syncing is done using the Plaid system, which we have all probably become very familiar with, so it's super easy to look up your financial accounts, log in with your credentials, and then everything is just going to be securely connected under the Mint app. Once you get everything hooked up, Mint is then going to track your transactions and will actually categorize them into predetermined budgeting categories automatically, but just as we've become accustomed to, they don't always get everything 100% right, so of course you are able to go back and manually adjust those transactions if you need to, and you can also add custom budgeting categories if one of the default ones does not fit into your budget. So all of this isn't anything groundbreaking, but one feature that I do love about the Mint app is that not only are you able to add tags to transactions, which actually helps Mint even better categorize your transactions, but you can even put single transactions into multiple budgeting categories. One of their newer features that I really love is called Mint Bills, which, you guessed it, allows you to pay your bills right through the Mint app, which was an area that it was lacking in for a very long time. Prior to this feature, you were only able to set up payment reminders, and you are still able to do that, but now you're actually able to use any US-based bank accounts or a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover credit or debit card in order to actually pay those bills as well. In my experience, those different payment options should have you covered, but I will mention that currently I don't see any kind of true ACH transfer bill payment feature, which I know a lot of you are looking for. So if you do prefer to pay your bills that way, then I don't see that for the time being, but you're still able to pay directly out of your bank account, which is basically the exact same thing. The only 2 major drawbacks that I see with Mint is, number 1, there currently isn't any kind of joint Mint account, which I think is a huge oversight on their part. Obviously, you and your partner would be able to each make individual Mint accounts and sync all of these same financial accounts to those, but again, the 2 Mint accounts are not actually communicating with each other, meaning anytime you change your budgeting goals or anything like that, they're not going to be in sync, which kind of makes it pointless for couples. So I really hope that a joint Mint account is something that they add in the near future. And then obviously the other huge difference, which is kind of an issue but not really the point of the Mint budgeting platform, is that Mint is simply a budgeting platform and nothing more. They are going to sync your financial accounts and give you a clean way of looking at everything, including keeping track of your credit score and all of that for completely free. But they are are not a bank account, they are not an investing platform or anything like that. They are simply aggregating that financial data and are presenting it in a clean and easy to understand way. All right, we'll swing back around to compare the key differences in a second, but moving on to SoFi Relay, this is the free extension of the newly released SoFi checking and savings accounts. And like I said earlier, I have made several videos on SoFi Relay, including a step-by-step how-to guide that I'll be sure to link to down in the description below. Relay is accessed through the standard SoFi app by clicking on the Relay Connections menu from the home screen, and this is going to work in a very similar way to Mint in the sense that you were able to link all of those third-party financial accounts as well as your SoFi accounts, and that includes your bank accounts, credit cards, loans, and of course you were able to add manual assets and liabilities as well. It is completely free, just like everything else on the SoFi platform, and similar to Mint, once you link all of those third-party accounts, they're going to track your spending and give you the ability to set up spending and savings goals, including savings vaults through your SoFi savings account. Plus, you can add transaction tags and pay your bills directly from your SoFi checking and savings account, and monitor your credit score as well. They also have an investment summary tool that shows you a percentage breakdown of all of your different investment accounts that you have linked to Relay, a breakdown of your spending by category, which we looked at in a previous video, and it was pretty jaw-dropping for me, so definitely check that out, and a summary of your monthly savings based on your total income and expenses. Nothing too crazy here with Relay, so what are the big differences here? Because as you can probably tell, these two platforms are very similar in the sense that they both are a clean and simple way to get a snapshot of your financial health without the complexity of a ton of fancy features that most of us probably never use. Well, the most obvious difference that does give SoFi an advantage is the fact that SoFi is actually a bank, while Mint is simply a budgeting platform. And obviously that is not a fair comparison because the SoFi checking and savings accounts are technically separate from SoFi Relay, but Relay is the free extension of the checking and savings account, meaning you really can't have one without the other. So if you do want to have your banking and your budgeting under one platform, then SoFi would be the obvious choice. Mint, on the other hand, has a much more simplistic design in my opinion, and while you do occasionally get an ad, that's kind of to be expected because this is a free platform, and I have frequently heard users of SoFi complain about the sometimes cluttered feel that the SoFi app can have. Now, thankfully, Relay doesn't really fall victim to that issue, but other aspects of the SoFi app do often get cluttered with advertisements for different SoFi products and news articles, and while you are able to set different preferences within the app in order to minimize the clutter, that is an extra step that you will have to take in order to optimize this platform for your use. Both platforms have a bill pay feature that essentially works in the same way, but again, SoFi is a bank, meaning you're able to use your routing and account number to directly make those payments right from your account, while Mint is simply communicating with your third-party bank account in order to pay those bills. Obviously, the end result is the same, but just a minor difference that you'll want to keep in mind. And then obviously we have the joint account options, which is something that SoFi offers that I absolutely love, and that is a huge con of the Mint platform. So if you're a couple who's looking to have not only your joint financial accounts, but actually have your budgeting perfectly synchronized, then again, SoFi would be the obvious choice in that case. In terms of connectivity issues, both of these platforms use the same Plaid system in order to link those third-party financial accounts, and I will say that the Plaid system is certainly not perfect, and I have run into connectivity issues not only with Relay and Mint, but a lot of other tools that use Plaid. Alright, so when it comes down to it, either of these platforms would be a fantastic choice. But obviously, the question that we want to answer in today's video is which one is right for you? Well, full transparency, you all know that I personally use SoFi Relay as my budgeting platform. However, that's just because I personally like having all of my financial tools under one platform, which SoFi allows me to do. But if you aren't already a SoFi user, or maybe having everything under one platform isn't that big of a deal to you, then Mint is a fantastic choice that, again, I did personally use for several years, and it worked just fine. I do also like the fact that Mint is solely focused on budgeting, not to say that other apps get distracted, but there is something to be said about a company whose sole focus is making the best free budgeting platform that they possibly can. So obviously, I have made my personal choice with SoFi Relay, and that is the better platform for me, no surprise there. But again, this one is really neck and neck, so I'd love to know which of these platforms you prefer down in the comment section below, and why you feel that is the better platform for you. As always, if you did get value out of this content and you want to help support me, the easiest way to do that is actually by checking out some of my favorite financial tools down in the description below, including one offer from the Point Cashback debit card that will currently give you $100 when you open your account and make your first purchase, so definitely check that out using the link down below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future, and of course, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it so much. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.